I'm Libbi Farrow, and thanks for watching this CrimeWatch digital exclusive, where we take a look back at recent crime stories that have been making headlines in our area and across the state. Austin police have arrested an 84-year-old man accused of killing his roommate and her dog. They also say he used her credit cards and was planning to leave the country. Police say the man also had a criminal past. Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shen has the details from police on how they tracked down the suspect.
Several flower pots sit outside this house on Bryn Mawr Drive, but on the door, a warning.
I'm just very devastated.
On Monday, police were called to check on 83-year-old Linda Milsna, who hadn't been heard from in 6 days, and there was a strong odor and flies coming from the house. Police found Milsna and a dog dead in a closet. A family member told investigators 84-year-old Jack Moore was living in the house, but he was nowhere to be found. Text messages on Milsna's phone show there were suspicious purchases on her accounts at a Walgreens. Detectives staked out that location and learned Moore made 21 purchases for 36 gift cards over several days. Moore was found and arrested for an unrelated warrant at an apartment complex he was staying at. The warrant was for parole violation for carjacking. When he was questioned,
kind of flat affect, not our typical presentation for interviews.
According to the arrest affidavit, he confessed to choking Milsna, bashing her head on the stairs, and strangling her with a cord.
It was a very, very brutal attack that occurred in that home.
As for why, police say Moore thought Milsna might be moving to a nursing home.
He wanted her to die there because she had husbands that had passed away in that residence from natural causes, and he wanted her to die there.
He placed her body in the closet and covered her with clothes. Milsna had a dog named Tigger. The paperwork reads Moore decided he wanted Tigger to be with Linda forever, so he killed the dog too. He told police he was planning to flee to South America on Wednesday. While Moore sits in jail, neighbors on Bryn Mawr are remembering Milsna as a kind, caring person.
Sweet old lady that just loved talking to her neighbors.
She would look out for me and for my mom, my grandma. When they would be at work, she would take care of me or just watch the house.
Police say while this is unusual for someone of Moore's age,
we shouldn't underestimate anyone, right? He's 84 years old. The likelihood of this occurring again is pretty slim, but you just can't predict who's dangerous and who's not.
Angela Shen, Fox 7 Austin News.
APD has also arrested a suspect accused of murdering a homeless man underneath a bridge in North Austin. 39-year-old Stephen Ripley is accused of shooting a man near West Palmer Lane on November 25th in the afternoon. Homicide detectives interviewed a witness who said Ripley had an ongoing feud with the victim, and he stated the victim had threatened him with a rock leading to the shooting. Ripley was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. And a new rideshare service with armed drivers is expanding to Austin, but some residents say it's not needed, while others say they'd prefer it. Fox 7 Austin's Meredith Aldis has more.
I know it's so controversial.
Rideshare drivers with guns.
I would feel much safer because especially downtown Austin, pulling up at a light or something, anything could happen.
I don't really see the point of it, you're just getting in the back of a car, so why would they need to be armed?
The gun is the deterrent.
Kerry King Brown launched Black Wolf in May 2023. It follows a similar on-demand ride model like Uber or Lyft.
But I want people to understand we're not Uber. We are Black Wolf with guns. If that's what you want to call it, we are Black Wolf with guns with vetted drivers.
To drive for Uber or Lyft in Texas, driving record and criminal history background checks are required. Common disqualifying convictions include DWIs, major moving violations, violent crimes, sexual offenses, and fraud. Uber and Lyft drivers and riders are prohibited from carrying firearms while using the platform.
There's so many loopholes in the ride-hailing industry.
Since the beginning of this year, Fox 7 has reported on many incidents involving rideshare drivers. In February, a Lyft driver in Houston says his passenger tried to kill him.
My seatbelt just tried to wrap it on my neck, choking me.
In August, an Uber driver in Austin was arrested for sexually assaulting a passenger. Court documents say a woman had been drinking, requested an Uber, fell asleep in the car, and woke up to 38-year-old Victor Lejean Frias sexually assaulting her. In October, an Uber driver in Dallas was seen on video attacking an elderly passenger. The rider saying it happened after he complained about lack of legroom in the back seat.
Suddenly hit me like that. Yeah.
We all deserve to get to point A to point B safely.
King Brown says his drivers are vetted and must have a minimum of 4 years experience in law enforcement, the military, or security.
I'm a trusted driver, you know his background.
King Brown says Black Wolf is also more of a service.
We add in more of a concierge feeling to it. So let's say you book a ride and the driver shows up. Whether service level you choose, he's going to open that door for you. He's going to close the door behind you. He's going to get us out of the vehicle and talk to you.
But it'll come at a higher price.
If you're going to compare us to the Ubers or the Lyfts of the world, we're about 10 to 15% higher.
When Fox 7 asked Austin residents if they had to choose between an armed or unarmed driver,
I would pick him over an Uber driver that does not carry a gun. As long as you have the proper training and you're using it right, I don't have a problem with it.
I would just go for the cheapest option, to be honest. So I wouldn't care at all.
Black Wolf currently has about 75 drivers across Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, and Arizona. They're looking to hire about 15 to 20 people in Austin with hopes to start servicing the area next month. Meredith Aldis, Fox 7 Austin, CrimeWatch.
A caregiver faces a murder charge for abandoning a wheelchair-bound dementia patient. And authorities are holding 37-year-old Chad Christopher responsible for the death of 83-year-old Alan Copehill. Shortly before 2:30 p.m. on November 22nd, deputies with the Travis County Sheriff's Office were called by a concerned family member to a home near Lake Travis. Inside, deputies discovered Copehill's body in his bed. He is believed to have been dead for at least a month. And according to the arrest papers, Christopher says the victim threatened him with cannibalism. Christopher continued to live in a garage apartment on that property, the same property, I should say, as Copehill. He's also accused of withdrawing $100,000 and buying plane tickets with the victim's money. Austin police say they've arrested a man accused of going on a 2-day crime spree. 37-year-old Alexander Sanabria is accused of targeting several gas stations throughout the city between November 24th and November 25th. Around 11 p.m. on November 24th, APD went out to a call at the All-Star gas station on Knuckles Crossing in southeast Austin. A 911 caller reported a suspect firing several rounds into the store. Surveillance video showed a man entering the store, drawing a gun, firing several shots, and then leaving. Then the morning of November 25th at around 9, officers were called to the Chevron on Schofield Ridge Parkway in North Austin after a clerk reported an attempted armed robbery. One witness knew the suspect from social media, identifying him as Alex. There were 3 more robberies with similar suspect and vehicle descriptions. Around 3:45 in the afternoon, several law enforcement agencies were able to locate his vehicle. He led them on a high-speed chase before crashing, and he was then taken into custody and booked into the Travis County Jail. And police in a Fort Worth suburb say an eagle-eyed neighbor likely stopped a potentially dangerous situation. Investigators are trying to figure out why a man had several guns and explosive devices in a van that he parked in a white settlement neighborhood. As Fox's David Santindra reports, police say there were intentions to cause harm.
You don't have bombs in your vehicle for no reason, or guns in a bulletproof vest. I just wondering what he was doing.
Stacey King's home surveillance video shows a van driving through his white settlement neighborhood around 5 a.m. Tuesday morning. Then, 30 minutes later, after someone called 911 about the suspicious van being parked on the same street, police say they found the driver experiencing a mental health issue with a handgun in his lap. Officers removed him from the vehicle and found a rifle, AR-style pistol, body armor, and 2 explosive devices.
Have that kind of stuff on you, you're planning something. I mean, eventually, you're thinking about it. I don't see any other reason to have it.
He did acknowledge to officers that those were improvised explosive devices.
Detective Laura Gonzalez says the suspect was taken into custody and transported to a medical facility. Once criminal charges are filed, his name will be released.
However, what we can say is that it appears that he's from Oklahoma.
Neighbors wonder, why here?
You're trying to terrorize someone, And that's not good, or you just want to be destructive in a community.
Well, the department says the suspect has family who lives in the neighborhood.
His intentions were to cause some harm. His motives as far as why, it is very unclear right now.
The department is praising a neighbor's decision to call 911.
Because that Good Samaritan that called in something suspicious and wasn't sure what was going on, officers were able to intervene quickly and prevented something that could have been really bad.
It's just downright scary.
King saw the law enforcement presence Tuesday morning, which included the FBI and ATF, but he did not know how close his neighborhood may have come to terror until around the time we spoke with him Tuesday afternoon.
I had a buddy of mine call me and tell me, hey man, I'm glad you made it through. They found a bomb on your street. And so then you was telling me about it and seeing the weapons. Yeah, I'm thankful to be here.
The community recently came together to show their respect and try and comfort Greenville police officer Cooper Dawson's family. Dawson was shot while chasing a suspect and later died from his injuries. Fox's Peyton Yeager has the story.
For the one who loves.
Tuesday evening, people in Royce City wrapped their arms around widow Aubrey Dawson, who works in Royce City ISD. Hugs of comfort and sorrow came from friends, community members, and colleagues.
Hundreds of people who have assembled on a very short notice just to show you their love for you, and those that will continue in the coming days.
Multiple communities now feeling the same sense of overwhelming grief after losing 27-year-old Greenville police officer Cooper Dawson in what investigators are calling an ambush.
The grief we feel is indescribable. We ask that you join us in praying for his family and supporting them in their incredibly difficult time.
Monday evening, Officer Dawson tried to conduct a traffic stop on a Greenville man with multiple felony warrants, now identified as 25-year-old Christian Sparger. Police say Sparger got out of his vehicle and started to run. Officer Dawson chased Sparger into a wooded area behind homes.
Officer Dawson was right behind the suspect. As he rounded the corner, the suspect opened fire, striking Officer Dawson multiple times. Despite his injuries, he was able to return fire and hit the suspect.
Officer Dawson was airlifted to Medical City Plano and passed away early Tuesday morning. All day Tuesday, people stopped by the Greenville Police Department to drop off flowers and pay their respects. Many embraced as the parked patrol car became covered with bouquets of flowers.
For him to leave his family behind, and it just hit home.
Officer Cooper Dawson is recognized as a dedicated and decorated police officer who served the community of Greenville. He previously worked at the Garland Police Department. He's also being remembered as a hero, a husband, a father of 3 young kids, and a military veteran.
We lost a good man today. He was an excellent officer. And, Dawson came in under my command. And this one hits really hard.
Peyton Yeager, Fox 4 News.
And finally, it's officially the holidays, and your neighborhood could be a target for burglars. Austin police shared some safety tips and let us know which parts of the city have seen the most problems. Fox 7 Austin's Angela Shen has the details.
'Tis the season for holiday cheer and, unfortunately, an uptick in burglaries.
We ask that you please do your part so that you, your loved ones, and your valuables are safe.
Austin police say they see the most burglaries and mail thefts in November and December, and most frequently on Fridays and Saturdays. When you're away from home, keep everything locked, close your curtains, and make sure cameras, alarms, and lights are working. Have a trusted neighbor get your packages or schedule pickups.
Don't post on social media how long you'll be traveling or away from your home. Many criminals do their best work in the dark and in areas that are not well lit.
Police data shows Southeast Austin and North Central Austin have seen an 8% and 16% increase in burglaries in the past 3 years. Other areas have seen a decrease. These are the areas of most concern for burglaries in December: the Spicewoods neighborhood, Georgian Acres, North Lamar, downtown Austin, East Cesar Chavez, Riverside, and Pleasant Valley. When you're out shopping, don't leave your car running unattended. Police say you should park in well-lit areas, have your keys in hand when you're going to your car, and put your valuables out of sight so you're not a target for burglars. Record serial numbers for valuables so they're easier to track if lost or stolen. Be aware of your surroundings if you're shopping or withdrawing money from a bank.
At any point in time you feel like you're being followed, don't go home. Continue driving, call 911, and we're more than happy to assist you.
Use 911 for crimes that are actively happening, like an assault or burglary in progress. If it already happened, like a burglary from a few days ago, use 311. Lastly, don't ruin the holiday cheer by drinking and driving.
The last thing we want to do is make a notification to a family during the holiday season, notifying somebody that their loved one has been killed in something that could have been preventable.
Angela Shen, Fox 7 Austin News.
And thank you for watching the Fox 7 Austin Crime Watch digital exclusive. Our Crime Watch stories run each Monday on Fox 7 Austin News at 9. And if you miss them, you can watch them anytime on our Fox Local Connected TV and mobile apps. They're free to download, and you can use your Connected TV app to watch on multiple platforms like Roku and Apple TV. For more on the stories highlighted in this episode, you can also head to our website at fox7austin.com. And don't forget to subscribe to the Fox 7 Austin YouTube channel.